Hey guys, so today I wanted to show you how I set up enclosures on a budget for either rescue animals or, in this case, a bin cage or a retirement cage for some of my elderly mice. Unfortunately, I did have to take Aster in to be euthanized before they got to use this because she did have a pretty intense brain tumor that was definitely affecting her quality of life, but I still thought this video was useful, and it's still a technique I will use in the future as my other mice get elderly. But without further ado, I hope you enjoy. So I'm going to start by breaking up some KT Clean and Cozy. Usually for my mice I would use Aspen. I just don't have any right now, so I'll probably just have to clean this sooner than I normally would for my mice. And when I do that, I'll probably just take out about half of it and replace it with Aspen, and then do the same thing the next time until it's all full Aspen. I usually like to use this either for my hamsters or as more of like nesting material, but this is all I have right now, so it'll be fine. Especially because only 2 of them are going in here. I'm just going to keep them as a pair, I think, because they are my 2 older girls. They are coming up on 2 years, and I want to make sure that my younger girls aren't picking on them or making their life harder, or not giving them equal opportunity to get food or treats or anything. So I think it'll just be better. Plus there'll be less places for them to fall, and it'll just be a lot safer. Obviously I'm not leaving it out here. I'm sure you can see my cats occasionally. I'm just building it out here because there's more room out here. And then I think I'm gonna separate them tomorrow morning, so hopefully they just kind of go to sleep in the morning. I still want to give them quite a few inches of burrowing, so I think with this much bedding I should be able to have like 2 or 3 inches. And then instead of making it super climbing heavy like my main cages, I'm actually going to use more hides and stuff, and then of course the water bottle, which I'm going to need to raise up a little bit, but I'll figure that out later. So let's start, because I'm using all the stuff from my Dollar Tree haul. I'm going to need to take the price tags off. If you use these little planters from Target, make sure you take out this little plastic piece. It's obviously to keep water in if you're going to use it as a planter, but you don't want your animal chewing on it. They shouldn't try going through this hole. I would keep an eye on it. I plan on keeping it up. Mice are pretty smart. They're not going to go through something that they would get stuck in, but I plan on just having it on its side, and if for some reason they do show an interest in that hole, I'll take this out. But until then, I think I'm going to give them this boot. I'm also going to give them the boom box. Okay, so then they'll have the boom box as well. They can use one of them as their nest or whatever they want to do. Okay, so here is the little tote thing I showed in my Dollar Tree haul. Like I said, I'm trying to make this whole entire enclosure with just stuff from the Dollar Tree. So you can see the bin was $18. Everything that's inside's from the Dollar Tree, obviously not the bedding and the wheel or the water bottle. Those would need to be purchased. But as far as like toys and stuff go, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have a really fun enclosure. So the wheel, I just noticed, is not where I want it to be. I decided to go with a flying saucer wheel. I actually grabbed one from out of their enclosure, which is why there's a poop on it, but I grabbed one from out of their enclosure. One, they can run on this together. If for some reason I see any fighting, I'll add a second wheel, but they're used to sharing their wheel, and this they can run on together. Plus, with the height, it would be really hard to put a full 8.5-inch wheel in here without them just burying it every single day. So I'm going to do this for now. I'm also going to give them some of these willow balls to chew. Mice obviously don't need sand baths, so I think what I'm going to do in this little container is either put some eco earth and mealworms and maybe plant some cat grass, or put some soft granule bedding. The sticker's not wanting to come off, so it's probably fine. So I'll put that there and give them another texture. They're used to having a dig box, so I think that's probably what I'll do, is I'll make this like a miniature dig box. And then of course I have the little wax melter. I'll put this in maybe over here. Oops, the ball went in there. I like to scatter feed my mice, so I probably will continue doing that, but maybe to monitor how much they're eating since they are older, I might also use this as like a food dish just to make sure we're all good. Next, of course, I still want to, I think I might zip tie this to the mesh at the top, so then when I open the enclosure it's not still in there, because otherwise I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to stick it to the sides. So I think I might zip tie this to the mesh on the top, and then I'll give them something else to do. I'm going to do that after though, and then I'll show a clip of how it looks from the outside. All the cats are staring in there because they don't realize this is empty, but that's fine. Honestly, I think this looks pretty good. I might just throw this last willow ball in there too, just because I don't have one random one, but I think this looks pretty nice. I might even use this in there also, since I'm going to use the other one as a treat container. Just screw off the lid and put a little hide over here. And honestly, that should be pretty good for them. They're used to having a really climbing active enclosure, but like I said, I want to be able to make sure they can't get hurt, because that is something that I've been worried about. I might need to get a smaller water bottle, because this one, I think even at the highest setting is going to be too low unless I rearrange the bedding, but I'll figure that part out. I'm not going to move them in until tomorrow, like I said, so I'll tweak it a little bit, but for now this is kind of what I have going. Like I said, I'm going to zip tie this to the top, and then I will show you what that looks like. So let me do that now. Right, so this is what the top of the lid looks like, obviously. I think what I'm going to do is just start on one spot, loop it under. And I haven't had too much issue with my girls chewing on zip ties, so this should be fine. I'm going to do the edges probably tighter than the middle ones, just because it's just falling out, but and then I'll just trim this piece off. Let me see, this is kind of a long piece for how small the enclosure is, but let me see if I do like that. And this is just like an easy way to give them a little extra enrichment, and I think this will work out perfectly. So those all hang down a good amount, not too low. Obviously I still need to trim those. I definitely will before I put them in, but I just want to kind of give you an idea of what it looks like. When it's in there, it'll give them a little extra space to climb, but they still won't be able to like fall off and hurt themselves. So I think this is going to be my on a budget mouse retirement cage. Like I said, my girls are almost 2 years old. They are getting a little old for mice, so I'm very sad. I hope they still have quite a while, but I don't know, they are slowing down, so I want to just be cautious. They still are going to have their wheel. I have to figure the water ball out thing. I might have to go to Petco in the morning. And then I'm going to turn this into a tiny dig box. So I'm going to use eco earth, mealworms, and maybe some cat grass. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns on my enclosure, please definitely let me know. I do have a video coming out about, or it might already be out, on how to build a bin cage. So definitely look out for that. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope it gave you some ideas on how to give some extra enrichment on a budget.